break that up into its components. So with this type of conversion, you have to look at your conversion map. So if you have your conversion map, go ahead and get it out right here. Right. So your conversion map, it's going to show you several things that we haven't really touched upon. So we have like liters, molecules, and so on. So those of you who, okay, so if you're given 2 molecules of H2O and you want to convert to molecules, then what you need to do is first write your pathway. So we have 2 molecules of H2O, 2 moles. Remember, moles is going to be different from molecules. And then we want to convert it to molecules. Right? So from here, we can draw our little fractions. We're going to place our given over 1. And then now we have to figure out the units that go down here. So remember, the units are going to be the same as your units prior, so to the top and to the left. So we have our units down here as moles of H2O, okay? And you want to convert that to molecules of H2O. So now we're going to go back to our conversion map, and we know that we need a conversion that has to do with moles and molecules. So we're going to go back here, give it a second. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back here, and we see that if we go from moles to molecules, then we're going to have to use this number here. So this number right over here is going to be 6.02 times 10 to the 23. It's going to be Avogadro's number, and that's going to equal 1 mole. So I'm just going to copy paste this onto my sheet of paper over here. Okay. So I'm going to copy paste this right here. So 1 mole is going to equal 6.02 times 10 to 23 molecules. Right? So the number 1 always goes with moles, and then 6.02 always goes with molecules. So I'm going to write that out. So I have a 1 next to mole, and then 6.02 times 10 to the 23 next to molecules. So Gabriel, Saviana, and Audrey, get a calculator. So get a calculator, you're going to need it. So now you're going to multiply it out. Okay, so whenever you put it into your calculator, it should look something like this. So 2 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23, and then it's going to be over 1. And then when you get your answer, you should see a letter in it, and it's going to be the letter E. Okay? Okay, so whenever you put this into the calculator, you should get something like this. 1.24 E to the 20, I believe. 24, my bad. So we got 24. So that letter right over there is going to actually mean 1.24 times 10 to the 24. So whenever you see it in this format on the calculator, it's going to mean this format right over here. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to go on to letter C. So letter C. So letter C is basically the opposite of letter A. And I'll go through this a little bit faster than the last one because it's not too extensive. So you are given 6.0 times 10 to the 4 molecules of H2O. So again, we're going to write our pathway. So we have 6.0 times 10 to the 4 molecules. And I want to convert it to moles of H2O. Okay? So from here, I'm going to draw my fraction. And I'm going to put my given over 1. So Gabriel, what unit should I put down here? Should I put molecules or moles? Molecules, absolutely. So my molecule should be over here on the bottom because it's going to copy the top left units. So molecules of H2O. So that really gives me a hint as to what numbers I put on the top and bottom. So remember, my conversion is 1 mole equals 6.02 times 10 to the 23 molecules. So Saviana, where should I put my 1? Should I put it on the top or the bottom? Okay, try again. The top. Okay, so the reason being is because whenever you see moles, you're going to put a 1 next to the mole, no matter what, whenever you're doing these conversions. So if you notice, there's always a 1 next to the mole, so that's why I put a 1 right there. Okay, so 1 right here, and then that leaves my 6.02 times 10 to the 23 being left on the bottom. And then from there, I can just multiply everything out. I'm going to replace that arrow sign with a multiplication sign. That looks really messy. But whenever you multiply it out, your units cancel out and you're left with moles. Okay, so then it's going to be 6.0 times 10 to the 4 multiplied by 1 over 6.02 times 10 to the 23. Okay. And then, okay, so your answer is going to be 9.97 times 10 to the negative 20. And then your unit should be moles of H2O. Okay. Right, and that's your answer. Right. Okay, so that's molecules and moles. Let's go on to liters. So liters is going to be generally the same thing, just the conversion for it is going to be different. So, all right, so the conversion for liters to moles is going to be 1 mole is equal to 22.4 liters. So that's going to be like the magic number, 22.4. So anytime you see liters, you're going to think 22.4. So you're given 2 moles of H2O. So I'm given 2 moles of H2O, and I want to convert it to liters. So just same process. I'm going to put these over fractions. I'm going to replace that arrow with a multiplication sign. And then from here, I'm going to place my given over 1. And then I'm going to ask y'all this question. Audrey, what units should I put down here? Moles, yes. So I have moles going down here as well. So since I have moles down here, I'm just going to plug in my numbers now with my conversion. Gabriel, where should my 1 go? The top or bottom? The top, yes. So your 1 is always going to go next to the mole. Okay, so it's going to be the bottom. And then your 22.4 is going to go next to liters. So whenever you multiply that out, you're going to get 2 times 22.4 over 1. Okay, so it's going to be 44.8. And then my units cancel out, and I'm left with liters. So liters of H2O. The same method. Okay, so last question. You are given 4 liters of H2O. So we have 4 liters of H2O. And then I want to convert it to moles of H2O. So if I want to do that, I'm going to put that over my fractions. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put liters of H2O. I'm going to replace that arrow with a multiplication sign. And I'm going to put my given over 1. So remember, my conversion is 1 mole equals 22.4 liters. So remember, my 1 always goes with moles, and then my liters is going to be 22.4. Okay? So whenever you multiply that out, it's going to be 4 over 22.4. And then you should actually get 0.8 moles of H2O. Okay, so that would be your answer.